Hello everybody, my name is Ragi Dion, and welcome back to Higurashi. So, I actually looked this up, and I'm pretty sure that this first chapter alone is supposed to take at least like 6 hours to play. So, we got some more time to spend on Higurashi. I may, I may actually decide to go and finish, this first chapter and then go back and play the rest of Amnesia Memories, but I'm not positive. Eventually, though, I'm gonna get through playing both of these, or I may decide play one chapter Higurashi, go back, play, the next world of Amnesia, and then flip-flop them. But I'm not positive on that. I may just go back and finish Amnesia. I'd like to finish one of them and then finish the other. And Higurashi, from what I've read, it is long. Like, this is only the first chapter. There are, I believe, 8. And I think the shortest one is like 4 hours long. So, it's gonna take me a long time to get through Higurashi. But I like to give you all different stuff to look at. So, while I'm playing Higurashi, I might decide to play another game after Amnesia Memories, just to, like, have some more, variation of content. That way you're all just, not stuck watching Higurashi all the time. But anyways, happy Halloween, guys. I've got my kitty ears and I've got my my pumpkin back there, and we're gonna have a spooky time. Hopefully, I'm hoping some scary shit happens. But anyways, time for me to read and lose my voice again, and let's continue on. We just finished chapter 4, so we're on chapter 5 now. Ahaha, how was it, Kei-chan? So you went to Reina-san's house. Wasn't it amazing? I went to Reina's house. Ah, it's nothing like that, right? Right? Unlike my house, the Ryugu residence wasn't newly constructed. It had been renovated from a pre-existing building. Why is my lag like this? Well, the house itself was fine. The problem was the yard. It was crammed with rows upon rows of oddities. Is my mouse just not working? They were all the same as Colonel Sanders, stuff you'd see while walking around in town. Hang on. Cake shop mascot, Little Licky. That sounds like a Pokemon. The Totemon in front of the pharmacy. She even had the amazing flying elephant from the top of the department store. Maybe I'm just not being patient enough. It just feels like it's taking a while to skip to the next text. I'll agree with you that those are cute. What is happening? But why the mailbox? Wouldn't you get in trouble for that one? But how so cute! She must have just thought about it because her face filled with delight. So it's the bigger the better, just as long as it's big. And her room displays the smaller ones. I had a chance to see them before. And cute kids like Rika-chan are locked away in the basement? Yep, I'll keep anything. How cute. She takes anything she likes back to her nest. No ill will intended. Hey, Reina, you know about the Statue of Liberty in New York, right? Isn't that cute? Yeah, cute. How? I want it. The U.S. should probably come up with some countermeasures as soon as possible. If not, the Statue of Liberty really will take a trip to Hinamizawa in the not-so-distant future. That's funny. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Rika-chan had returned. No fun being called to the staff room. Did you do something? How rude! Rika isn't a hoodlum like Keiichi-san. Ahaha, nothing like that, Keiichi-kun. Rika-chan is a member of the festival committee. Yep, there is a festival indeed. Festival? A school cultural festival or something? Kei-chan, I already told you. It's the village village festival, the Watanagashi. Oh, come to think of it, she did say there'd be a festival at the shrine during the next break. So what's the Watanagashi thing about? Is it like a floating lantern festival? I guess the last part where you set things adrift in a river is similar. Except we use cotton things like old worn-out futons and padded cloaks. It's a festival expressing thanks for their years of service. People living in Hinamizawa dump their futons and padded cloaks in a stream. Sounds like it'd be a lot of trouble if it backed up the current. Maybe they should just drop some fish in and have a fish wrangling competition. Skewer them and sprinkle a little salt. Oh man, I can smell it already. I am not a fish person. That just sounds disgusting to me. That's just summer camp. I never anticipated how destitute Keiichi-san's imaginative capabilities would actually be. What? How could you tell I was thinking something silly? It was written all over your face. What sort of face could have expressed what I'd imagined just now? Who knows? Reina demonstrated for me. I see. No argument here. Ha 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 ha. It's nothing fun like that, you see. But you should still look forward to it. Let's all go together. I'll come get you that day. I don't really feel like going to festivals unless someone asks me to. I wouldn't get bored if these guys were going. Yeah, going alone's not fun. You won't get bored. We're doing it again this year. Mion's proclamation came as she looked at each member in turn. What was this all about? From the way Mion looked, it was probably our club's summer tradition, the Watanagashi 4-demon firefight. The hell is that? That sounds awful. What kind of name is that? I think it's a cute name, though. I tried to object sharply, but since Reina looked happy about it, I decided it was pointless to fight it. I'm gonna call her Reina forever. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Rena or Reina, to be honest, from the way they talked about it, but I've called her Reina forever, and I'm gonna keep calling her Reina. Since Keiichi is here this year, it becomes 5 demons. Rika-chan made a small correction in light of my presence. So how does this funky-sounding club activity tie into the festival? Oh ho ho, this is where you exhibit the skills you've nurtured through your daily club activities. Exactly. We should show the full extent of our abilities, that the best of the best have obtained through our daily trials and tribulations. But last year the mayor got angry, so we need to make sure not to cause any problems this time. So basically we're doing club activities while checking out the stalls. Rika-chan really is the only one who explains things so that they make sense. I see, so we'll be exhibiting on those busy festival grounds. Reina was right. Of course that would be a reason for the mayor to get angry. Aha, but it's lots of fun. That was the only point I did not doubt. It would be, without a question, fun. The day of the festival was drawing near. Well, putting that aside for now, let's start our club activities today. Any objections? Nay! Our voices ring out in unison. Well, there's lots of people, card games really are when there's lots of people, card games really are the easiest to play. This really is the most basic of table games. Played with the mark deck again? We'll use a new one today. There are no marks in the cards, so we're on equal footing. I wonder if that's really the case. I will have to inspect them. Well, that was fair. Just to be safe, everyone checked the cards. Yeah, these seem to be fine. Are you all satisfied? Then today, I guess, we'll play President. That's good for 5 people. Another standard card game. First one to get rid of all their cards wins. Basic rules. Play a better card than the one before. You can play straights and pairs. There are various techniques that improve the game, like reversals. But because it's such a well-known game, there are lots of house rules for it as well. The name, for example. In my hometown, we call it Millionaire. I'd like to go over some details. Are the jokers wild? Can you make a reversal with 3 threes? No jokers. 2 is the highest. You can reverse a reversal. You can only make a reversal with 4 of a kind, not 3. Also, you know how the peasant sends a good card to the president? None of that. While confirming the familiar rules, Satoko looked over at me cautiously. I probably should have tried to look like more of an amateur. I was pretty used to this game. It's president, and it's with a new deck. Today, I might be able to win. I had the gist of the rules now. But that wasn't everything, was it? So what shall today's penalty be? About that, why don't we all write something down on slips of paper and have the loser draw one? Oh, I missed that. Hang on, where's the log? What? Oh, that seemed like it could be interesting. Oh ho ho! Sometimes it's like, alright, a nasty one and have Keiichi-san draw it. It would be awful if you wrote a bad one and drew it yourself. Just don't lose. Don't you know best? Oh ho ho. Mion handed out several slips of paper to everybody. Then write down whatever and put it in this bag. When you lose, stick your hand inside and pick one out. Now then, what would be a good penalty? Worst case scenario, you draw what you wrote. Something too intense would be like digging your own grave. No penalty. Let's forbid that kind of idea from being written down. Mika-chan's casual suggestion caused Mion's hand to lurch to a sudden halt. Aw, that's so sneaky, Mion-san. She wrote no penalty and the corner of the slip is folded. I see. Just in case you lost, you grab the note with the folded corner and you'd be safe. That was a good idea. Diabolical as ever, Mion. Rikacho is quite formidable too, being able to see through that. I couldn't underestimate her even if she doesn't stand out. Everyone, don't write penalties that are too mean, okay? Nobody agreed to Reina's proposal. Everyone was ruthless. It's fine, Reina, just don't lose. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll try hard so everyone has to pick the penalty I write. Reina was quite brutal even though she usually appeared meek. Better not underestimate her either. I agree with that. I'm very curious what Reina's penalty is in particular. Everybody's penalties are scary. I still didn't like what Rika-chan's penalties would be like. Basically, you can't afford to lose this game. Everyone here ready? We all nodded determinedly. Having confirmed that, Mion dealt out the cards. Finally, the battle begins. I had a decent starting hand. Card after card was played in the middle. Not needing Mion to tell them, both Rika-chan and Satoko played their cards without hesitation. Reina and I were the only ones who paused to think. It seemed that Reina generally couldn't make up her mind, but I was different. I was like a shark stalking its prey, just waiting for the right time to strike. Huh? Will this work? And I'll play this 3 and I'm out. 9. Nobody? 8? 7? I'm out. 5 and 5. I'm out. Then I'll discard this last one and I'm out. Bah, I missed my only shot. What did she say? I missed my chance. The loser of the first round was, of all people, Mion, and now I was certain. Today I could win. Now then, Mia-chan, pull out one of the slips, okay? Mion accepted her defeat, scrounging around inside the bag and pulled out one piece of paper. What? Who did this? Who wrote this? Mion quivered and shrieked. What is it? What is it? What is it, Hao? Reina was also surprised when she peeked at it. What kind of terrible thing was written on it? Pet the principal on the head! Hey, wait. How is this bad? Keiichi-san, do you not understand? The principal is balding and ashamed of it. Satoko yelled with a serious look on her face, but she wasn't as loud as Mion's shriek. What could it be? The principal is a martial arts master. He boasts about traveling around the world, perfecting his skills when he was younger. He switched to teaching after seeing the poor state of education in Japan after the war. He was inhuman. He was inhuman. Pet that guy's head? How is he inhuman? I'm confused. As club president, there's no way I could set a bad example by refusing. Phew. Oh yeah! She bellowed out a yell as she dashed off toward the hallway. Wouldn't it have been easier to sneak up quietly and try to do it without making a fuss? Probably impossible. They say he used to hunt sea slugs just by sensing their presence. I could do nothing but wait with bated breath. Pow! A rumble shook the classroom. That's the principal's aerial opener. Boof, pow, whap, zing, kaboom! Following the launcher with a jab, strong, fierce combo. He's even using meter. I don't know what that means, but okay. From how it sounded, the principal's jumping fierce sounds like a multi-hit combo. I think those are all Street Fighter references. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Nothing I could do now except stay calm. I understood now why there were no delinquents at our school. After a few months of silence, Mion slumped back to us. headed. Is that good enough? Mion said before collapsing. She's alive, at least. Now we can continue the game. Monster. I was amazed the person who made club activities like these could say that. But now, the worst penalty is gone now, right? Right? Marina tried to lighten the mood and was only met with Mion's malicious grin. She was serious now. I'm not holding back anymore. You'll all get yours. The pace of the game came bizarrely quick. I could tell the game had gotten more intense. Ace, 3, 4, 5, I'm out. I'm out as well. Hee hee, I'm out too. 3, I am now out. Oh boy. Eek, I lost? And the heavens chose to vanquish Reina. What kind of penalty, I wonder? What kind of penalty, I wonder? It wasn't exactly hard for her to be worried. Just thinking of the level of difficulty of Mion's first penalty still made me quiver. And so the penalty she drew with trembling fingers was... The heck was this? Speak like a maid. Huh? What is this? This one, what do I need to do? So basically it means that you have to use the same expressions as a maid? How? Okay, master. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had no idea who wrote that penalty, but she was awesome. Then Reina, can you shuffle the cards and deal? Yes, master. Alright, I could just die right now. Anyway, let's continue, right, Reina? Yes, master. The eagerness to which I was goading Reina into addressing me as master was downright impressive, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I won't lose anymore. I'm out. I shan't lose either. I'm out. Then with that, I'm out too. I can't believe it. Is it Reina's loss again? Reina again? What kind of penalty would it be this time? I was delighted by the mysterious sense of anticipation. Anticipation? No, this was conviction. Remove one piece of clothing from the top and bottom halves of your body. Oh. That's just indecent! Who could have written this? My face reddening in anger. If I didn't yell something out, I wouldn't be able to hide my shaking. Who did write that? God, please give me that Nobel Prize. That would be an ignoble prize. Not good, not good. What I was thinking about was written all over my face. How, me-chan? Reina begged Mion with teary eyes, but everyone knew Mion's answer already. Nope, nope, won't go easy on you. You lost, so take it like a man. Understood, master. How? Oh, undress! Oh god, what? I looked around thinking somebody else would probably stop her. Of course, I wasn't exactly trying to stop her either. Then I heard the rustling of clothing, the sound of her skirt hitting the ground set my heart racing. Is this fine, master? I looked away like a gentleman. But these club activities, you needed to be ruthless after all. Oh, she had her gym uniform on. Keiichi-san, whatever were you expecting? Certainly we would not have her strip if she weren't wearing her PE clothes underneath. Satoko poked fun at me, but right now I can't hear it. Not bad, Kei-chan. This old man never would have thought you would go after her like that. You got it all wrong. I didn't write that one. Master didn't write this one? Her squirming around in her PE clothes made it impossible for me to not feel anything. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. Mion probably wrote that one and planned to go after me as I panicked. You can't fall for her trap after knowing it's a trap. Clear your head. Calm down and assess the situation. I was determined to think my way out of this, and the answer was quite simple. I win! I then became a god! What? I, who already entered the domain of godhood, who would dare stare in my way? It was like they were pulled to me magnetically. I was picking up aces and twos like nobody's business. Eek! How come my luck of the draw be so bad? This took a loss, right? I'll draw the penalty. Speak like a little sister. Fine. Me-chan. Yes, the pleasure of making this brat disgrace herself. This old man loses again. Mion's lost, right? I'll draw it out. Wear a girls' school swimsuit. No, that's the one I wanted Kei-chan to get. Yes! Mion's despair was like sweet honey. Master, I lost again. Reina lost? I'll draw it for you. Let the person in first place rest their head on your lap. this outfit, Master? Yeah. She's not wearing a skirt, so it's her bare legs. Oh my. Eek, Oni-chan, you're too good. Satoko lost again? I'll draw it. Obey the person in first place. How about I have you give me a shoulder massage? Fine, Oni-chan. Come on, do it a bit harder. Don't use your nails. Bwahahaha. I had transformed into an evil dictator. Couldn't be doing any better. I felt like I could control how the cards played out with my mind and even decide what suits would appear just by willing it. By the time I realized, I had already assembled a harem. I was laughing haughtily as I rested my head on Reina, who was now a bloomer-clad maid. Stokos was wearing a collar and had taken on little sister properties. Mion was fanning me while wearing a school swimsuit. Wait, Rika hasn't lost today, has she? Today's Master's overwhelming victory, isn't it? Eek! Please refrain from moving your head around so much. I began to think, why does man have no end to his desires? How could I wish for more than this palace of dreams? What is it, Keiichi? I'm saddened by the thought of a man having no end to his desires. That was it. Rika-chan hadn't been in first, but she continued to escape being in last. Keiichi is quite greedy. It's sad you should know when enough is enough. It's said you should know when enough is enough. I know that very well, but how to say it? I feel like I wouldn't mind if I died now. Eek! Master, please refrain from moving your head around. Eek! You say you wouldn't mind dying. Then that can be arranged. What? Wait, what? Rika-chan said in her usual calm manner with a cheery tone. That was undoubtedly a declaration of war. Go, Rika-chan, go! Take him out! Defeat the archdevil of perversion. I might not be able to win, but I'll beat him. Such stoicism from this little girl who's already hidden away in Satoko's shadow. It would probably be rude not to meet her head on. I shall face you myself, little one. I saw Mion swap a few cards with Rika-chan in the middle of the game, but I pretended I didn't see it. Do you believe you can defeat Keiichi-sama with just that? 2, ace, 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 8, 8, 8, 8, reversal. Everybody looked over at me. I was still brimming with confidence. Mwahaha. 4 of them had allied against me. That's it? You're making me laugh. That was good. Reversal, reversal. What? How could such a thing be? Stoko let out a shriek. Mwahaha, you simpletons. Using up all of her cards before calling the reversal left Rika-chan with no good cards. She was defeated soon after. I lost. Mwahaha, finally, you fall into my clutches. Now I'll pick one out. Oh ho? Wear cat ears, a bell collar, and a tail. Mwahaha, even the penalties were as I wished. Rika-chan hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. How do they just have these random artifacts? Just like they have a collar and a belt and like a cat costume and this, like the school swimsuit makes sense, but like everything else, it's like, what? Rika-chan hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. It's questionable as to why such things were in Mion's locker, but since I had no objections, I didn't ask. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, this was so how. I felt like I had become Reina. This wasn't definitely cute. Cute, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, I want to take her home. This wasn't me talking, that was the actual Reina. Mew. As Rika-chan mimicked a cat, teary-eyed rings of smoke escaped from Reina's ears with an audible poof. Rika-chan must take home, taking her home. Just for a while, I won't do anything strange. Nothing strange. Uh-huh. I'll see. I still have 1 trick left. Mion gasped and dropped her fist into her open palm. Reina must. She can take me home. After Reina-san beats Keiichi-san, she can. I thought that Reina in cute mode would be able to defeat me. Would it be that easy? Opposing me was the same as opposing God. I'd teach them their place. Who are you, like, Light? From Death Note? How preposterous that Reina can't defeat me. Eep! For a moment I didn't know what was going on. I think they meant that Reina can defeat me, but they The 52 cards danced and flowed freely between Reina's hands like the machinations of a master magician. In the middle of those flowing cards was Reina's ecstatic expression, her head bobbing around. Shall we, Keiichi-kun? Hurry, hurry! My whole body knew it already. I was going to lose. No play? Nothing to play, Kei-chan? Then with this, I'm out. Everyone cheered. I was spent. Phew, I've got no regrets. God, thank you for letting me dream a little. Now then, I'll take one out. Keiichi-san's penalty. This is it. Everybody peeked at it in unison, gazes flicking between the text and my face. All day today I did as I pleased. I'll do whatever it is. What's on there? Oh boy. All. Huh? Every penalty up until now! What? What the heck? Keiichi-san, should you not be speaking like a little brother? Yes, Oni-chan. Wow, this is quite addicting. Next I'll have you rub my shoulders. Keiichi-san, I don't need the lap pillow, so do the other one, okay? Yes, master. Oh, Keiichi-kun, that's so cute. Say it again, say it again. No, please spare me, master. Reina passed out with a squeal, blood spewing from her nose like a fountain. My dignity was being trampled more than a communal doormat. Next is from this old man. I'm going to have you fan me for a good long while, you know? Fwoosh, fwoosh. Oh, almost forgot. You need to wear this, don't you? The school swimsuit. Oh? This is for girls? Can't I wear the one for boys? It was clearly written here, wear a girl's school swimsuit, as you can see. Stoka was like a loan shark. Actually, me trying to escape reality as fast as humanly possible is pretty adorable if I do say so myself. But whose school swimsuit am I going to wear? If I was wearing one of yours, you wouldn't like it, right? Ah, this old man doesn't care about that kind of stuff at all. Think of it as a little benefit. I'm not that into shape, so I think maybe Kei-chan could fit into it. The executioners surrounded me, wagging their fingers. No! I knew it was gonna fall on him eventually. I was like, he has the worst luck. There's no way he could have that good of luck forever. My first thought, it's tied around the waist. Second thought, the chest area was pretty loose. Third thought, the crotch area was whole. Ah, Keiichi-kun is bending forward. Cute, cute. You'll be ready after you wear the cat ears, bell, and tail. Kei-chan, want to look in the mirror? It's amazing, really. It's probably best. It's probably best if you look. The stern, scientific, calculating nature mixed in with her fascination made Mion very scary. I would like to respectfully decline, master. Your ensemble is complete. If only we could send you home dressed like that. Oh ho ho ho. Is this enough? I'll change and... While I was saying that, Mion placed her hands on my shoulders and Rika-chan slipped up behind me without a sound. Not yet, Keiichi. There's still the first penalty left. Is this in this getup? Rika-chan patted my head without saying a word. Oh boy. Sir, excuse me. Yes, please come in. I stepped forward into the principal's office. My bell jangler jingled adorably. The principal froze solid with a smile on his face as he saw me. Oh boy. That would be so embarrassing. I couldn't blame him. In this sacred place of study, specifically in his office, though I said excuse me as I entered, the sight of a person entering with a school swimsuit, cat ears, a collar, and a tail, and for it to be a young male student, without a doubt any normal person's psyche would have stopped cold. But this could be explained. We'll call it uncanny valley camouflage, if you will. I'm not sure if that's the phrase, but okay. When humans see others, they can only begin to act after confirming this is human, meaning that if he could not comprehend what was in front of him, then in those moments before he could begin to fully process the situation, his mind was completely blank. That was my one and only chance for victory. My penalty, rubbing the principal's head. Principal, I challenge you, Herc. I heard what sounded like a zing 3 times. His 3-gauge super? Principal said one thing to me. What does it mean to be a man? I don't know. It's a good question. And in a heartbeat. Oof. That tremor resounded throughout the Hinamizawa twilight. Oh my god. There's always a bunch of humor scenes in these games, and it's so funny. Like, it makes me, like, happy to play those parts because it's so funny. Reina was given permission to caress Rika-chan's head as much as she wanted, so they headed home together, very pleased. Once again today, it was just Mion and I going home. Man, that was intense. I didn't know Kei-chan was so good at president. No, I was more surprised than anyone. If I was playing with guys, I wouldn't have been that strong. But still, it was pretty bad. Being carried off on a stretcher in that outfit would probably haunt me until the day I die. Hahaha, but that's fine, isn't it? You were able to do something to boast about for the ages, too. How... Well, when she says it like that, we both smiled at each other. Oh, it's that guy again. Oh, we meet again, Keiichi-kun. It was Tomitake-san. I felt like I'd been running into him quite often. Hey, take any good pictures? Well, a few. So, Tomitake-san suddenly leaned over and whispered into my ear. You sure get around. Say you already have a different girl? It's not like that. No need to hide it. It's important to get lots of experience when you're young. Because Tomitake-san let out such a crude laugh, Mion knew what we were talking about without even hearing his whispering. I've heard through the grapevine that Mr. Tomitake is quite the catch himself, though. Ah, no, that wasn't my intention. Sure. Keep up the good work and take plenty of pictures. See ya. Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this loud quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mion knew Tomitake-san quite well. How's the year treating you, mister? Staying until the Wada Nagashi? Yep, I plan to. After photographing the festival, I plan on heading back to Tokyo. Being a photographer sure is easy. Be sure to win some big award and become famous. You spent all your best years on photography, after all. I don't think I'm that far gone. Don't they say men start developing their own unique flavor in their 30s? What does it matter what you taste like? That's so gross. Oh, look at the time. I need to get back to the inn before it gets dark. Tomitake-san began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It did look like he was outmatched by Mion. Now then, I'll see you both at the festival. After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitake-san disappeared amidst the cries of the Higurashi. The way he's going, he probably won't ever get famous. I had him promise he'd display a picture of me if he ever opened up a gallery, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So you know Tomitake-san. Yeah, he's an acquaintance of ours, of sorts, but you know how easy it is to tell who's an outsider. Sounded like you meet him all the time. Tomitake-san comes around to Hinamizawa regularly, maybe 2-3 times a year. He says he's taking pictures of the seasonal scenery and wild birds, but well, those photos really are nothing to phone home about. The image Mion painted of Tomitake-san was fairly unique. The Tomitake-san I knew was more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth. I wonder if he's really here to take pictures of birds. Mion stared blankly at me as if to ask, why do you say that? It just seems he's here for something other than taking pictures, I think. Don't you get that feeling? Like about that accident, the dismemberment. Oh, you too? If so, you've got good instincts, Kei-chan. She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper now she said it. You knew about it then, Mion? Of course, he might be able to pull one over on everyone else, but he can't fool this old man. Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I had easily come to a very different conclusion from what she was imagining. But like all apprehensions I had about Tomitake-san disappeared, lifting a burden off my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was. Ah, I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dusk. What does dusk smell like? What is it, Kei-chan? It's just that I never thought the cries of Higurashi could feel this good. Ahaha, what's got into you all of a sudden, Kei-chan? We both continued to giggle, not knowing why. I wonder what Reina's doing. I wish she's getting her fill of Rika-chan by now. She's probably in the middle of asking her over so she can treat her to dinner. It'd be great if she's able to take her home. I wonder. Rika-chan is pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, I feel the same. That head petting penalty was probably from Rika-chan. I thought so too. The only one who could get away with petting his head is Rika-chan, after all. Just pointless chit-chat. The hot day felt like it was being coiled down by the cries of Higurashi. I think when they get to the festival is when it starts getting really interesting. There's a lot of stuff with, like, old Japanese festivals. Oh, I only got one new tip. Okay. Community notice. We're greeting the end of the rainy season sooner than in prior years. On this day, when it feels like summer will arrive soon, I'm pleased that everyone is in good health. The season for the Wada Nagashi is finally upon us. I believe the assistance of the town council will make this a wonderful festival. I also wish to ask you for the assistance of everyone in regards to a few things. 1. Collecting bazaar goods. We look forward to a well-received Hinamizawa Grand Bazaar exhibition, holding a massive collection of excess goods and used clothing. No raw goods, please. Management Makino, telephone number. Recruiting Little Festival Drum Dancers. The renowned Little Festival Drum Dancers group, known for its careful choreography, the Shufu Society is taking last-minute participants. We're looking for any Shobo elementary and middle schoolers. Management Kimayoshi. Taking donations. We are accepting donations in multiples of 1,000 yen. For every 1,000 yen donation, you'll be awarded with a refreshment stand ticket. Management Sonozaki. Oh, Sonozaki, that's Shion's family. We are also taking suggestions for ways to improve the festival at all times. If you have any interesting idea, called Kimayoshi. There's a 200 yen refreshment stand ticket attached below the cut line. Interesting. Okay, so let me save here. So that's end of chapter 5. Alright, let's continue on to chapter 6, I suppose. I'm not sure how many chapters are in each, thing, but I guess we'll find out, huh? How many chapters are in each chapter? We may never know. A few days had passed since the incident. What incident? During that time, either Mion was busy or Rika-chan had to help with the festival preparations, so we couldn't get everybody together for club activities. Even though I thought I would never want to participate again after the years it shaved off my life each time, not having it only made my heart grow fonder. I really am not honest with myself. Today we finally had our club activities again. These weren't the same old club activities. It was called the Wada Nagashi 5 Demon Firefight, and it was one of the biggest events in the club. Oh god, what is this about? Keiichi, does this yukata still fit you? Can you try it on for a second? Mom pulled out the old, dusty yukata. Nah, I don't need a yukata. Those are embarrassing, so I'll just go with my normal clothes. This is a festival, wear it, okay? Rina and the others said regular clothes are just fine. If I was the only one wearing a yukata, it'd be even more embarrassing. I put on the same old vest as usual. I'll be going with Reina and the others. So you don't need to worry about me. Is that so? I'll be going with Dad when he wakes up. Dad let out a loud snore from the sofa. From how it looks, he must have pulled an all-nighter last night. He's just finished sending his manuscript. Oh, excuse me. So he might not wake up for a while. Seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes, too. I've never read it, though. I wonder if my dad is a really famous artist. Since his own son is saying something like that, can't imagine he's selling all that well. But he's able to feed a family of 3, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships. Yet. It could be that he's some master painter, and I didn't know about it. Ding dong. Keiichi-kun, are you home? Uh-oh, it was already time. I didn't want them coming here, so I was planning on leaving early and waiting outside. Oh, she's in her casual clothes. Oh my, it's Reina-chan. Thank you for always looking after Keiichi. Ma'am, he's also been looking out for me. Why are you blushing just from meeting my mom? Don't get all flustered. It really doesn't feel right. Let's go, Reina. Since Reina could continue to space out if I left her here, I grabbed her hand and dragged her out. Reina-chan, look after Keiichi could inform me.
How? Yes, ma'am. Even if it means I must sacrifice myself.
Why don't you do it right now? She waved back even as I was dragging her away. Okay, Kei-chan, you hungry today? We'll take care of that at these stalls. You think I'd let myself get full knowing the club activities will involve the stalls? Wouldn't have it any other way. Where are Rika-chan and Satoko? Are they already at the temple? Yep, Rika-chan's a festival committee member after all. Satoko-chan's probably with her as well. I see. Alright, let's make some noise today. Yeah! We were already in high spirits with just the three of us there. It was way more lively at the Furuta Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable. There sure are lots of people here. I can't believe they all live in Hinamizawa. Everybody attends the Watanagashi. Think about half the village is here. It's not just that. Municipal and youth councils from neighboring towns and villages advertise this event as well. That's right. There aren't that many students at our school. But there are lots of kids here today. Just doesn't feel like a festival unless there are kids running around after all. That's true, I agree. Hello and good evening. These two knew everybody we came across. Of course I greeted them as well, but I still wasn't familiar with everybody yet. Oh, Reina-chan, thanks for the food you brought me a while back. My son loved it. He said it was delicious.
It was nothing at all. I'm glad he liked it.
Say hello to Kazuma-kun for me, please. Hey, if it isn't Sonozaki Ojo-chan, I'm in charge of a stand again this year, so make sure you come visit. Pops, have you gotten fatter? You'll end up having a heart attack with a guy like that. Oh, this kid here is new. Are you one of her underclassmen? He's one of my members, an upcoming hopeful. If you cross him, he could crush your stand in one night. You've got a little missy seal of approval, I see. Hope you take it easy on me. As you can imagine, Mion was chatting away with the old guys running the stalls. Mi-chan is really energetic after all. She's really popular with the older men. I think Reina's pretty popular too, being cute and all. That was, of course, so long as her little condition didn't flare up. But as long as she's blushing quietly, she's pretty cute.
I'm popular with some people? Really? Really?
With some people. I evaded giving her a straight answer by roughly tussling her hair. Stallkeepers came all the way from town. It's not really a festival without them, after all. So we're going to mess with them now? I don't care what kind of match it is, I'm going to win it.
Oh yes, hee. I'll try to. Hey, you're all very late. It's unacceptable to keep a lady waiting, Keiichi-san.
Oh, my bad. So where's this lady I've kept waiting?
What did you just say?
Alright, Stucco was in top form as well. Seems she was getting all excited about being able to get everybody in the club together for the first time in a while.
Wow, Rika-chan. Cute.
Rina let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real lady had made her appearance. She's in a shrine maid uniform. Yep.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to Keiichi as well.
Whoa, looking good. You're looking sharp again this year.
Cute. Gonna take you home.
You just took her home yesterday! Rika-chan was wearing a shrine maiden outfit. Yep. Rina's little outburst was completely understandable. Rika-chan's clothes sure look like the real deal. Is that a real shrine maiden outfit? My grandmother made them by hand. They're quite authentic. Rika-chan has an important task to do at the end of the festival, so she's wearing this. I see, Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all the shrine maid rituals for the festival. Yep. My work is only during the finale of the festival, so I can still play for a little while. But we cannot afford to waste any time. Let us begin! How right! That's funny. Feel good to wander around the festival with just the five of us. Mion called everybody over to the stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition. Takoyaki eating race. I've never had takoyaki, but I've always wanted to try it. Everyone has to buy their own. Ready? Go! A stander and vendor stalls, takoyaki stand. What was especially standard for these kinds of events was the fact that they were only simple balls of dough, takoyaki in name only. It burns!
Are you okay, Keiichi-kun? Have some water.
My, eating those scalding takoyaki whole is suicide. I guess the trick is to buy the ready-made ones that have been left there for a while.
They really don't taste good.
The stall next to it was a shaved ice stand. It was still a bit too early in the season for that, but right then it didn't matter. Let's do shaved ice this time. It's a shaved ice eating race. Ready? Go.
Shaved ice eating race? I can't. As long as you can melt it a bit with your body heat, then...
It's so cold! Not smart. This old man ordered it with plenty of syrup. It'll melt quickly when it's mixed up. Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head-on was their downfall. Phew. Finished. Kei-chan is done? That was too fast.
It couldn't be. Keiichi-kun, you didn't add water from the goldfish tank behind you, did you?
That can't taste very good. I'm sure it doesn't. Next to that was another old favorite, a cotton candy stand. I love cotton candy. Why don't we do this one next? Of course, it's a speed eating contest. Why is everything a speed eating contest?
Hey, how do you eat cotton candy quickly? How?
On Satoko's mark, me and Satoko and I compressed the cotton candy with our bare hands. This time it took to stick the whole thing. The time it took to stick the whole thing into our mouths, 3 seconds. I expected Satoko to figure it out, but I didn't think Kei-chan would too. I can't have you treating me like I'm a newbie forever, can I?
It won't taste very good.
Rika-chan had also crushed it between her hands and stuck it into her mouth. This is probably the only place in Japan where people eat cotton candy like this. I think only Reina's cotton candy was happy with how it was eaten. But it felt like we'd end up doing stuff like eat noodles through the nose contest or human water pump with the goldfish scoop at the rate things were going. This old man will probably still win, too. I'm simply no match for Mion-san when it comes to eating repulsive things. Yeah, seriously. What's up with you guys? Are you telling me how you don't want to have a blue Hawaiian topped yakisoba eating contest? Ew. Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison.
Can we have a game that doesn't involve food this time? Can we?
Reina's proposal was a godsend. It was about time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Reina nor Rika-chan were very good at speed eating or gorging themselves. Okay, Reina, I'll let you pick out the next game. Anything is fine.
Well then. I'm going to be the judge. Find cute things on the festival grounds. You have 1 minute. Fine by me. I know exactly what Reina likes.
Alright, I think I can win with that.
Ready, go! Oh? Why aren't Keiichi-kun and Rika-chan starting? Why not?
Mion and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed where we were.
Could it be you already found it? The cute thing? We've already found it. Keiichi too?
Yeah. He's gonna say Rika-chan. What is it? What is it? I can't wait. Both Rika-chan and I stood motionless for those few moments before Mion and Satoko returned. This is probably the first time we've gone head to head like this. It will be the first. Rika-chan, you expect to win with that, huh? I am a member of this club as well. Win by any means is our society's third rule. Rika-chan sneered to the best of her ability. You're on. Both Mion and Satoko came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms.
Okay then, let's go in order. Let's start with the club president, Mi-chan.
Too bad, you guys, I'm ending this now. This old man brought this. Where did she get those? They were old tin, diamond-shaped signs. Pleb curry, snake coil incense, and aura numen C. How about this? It's very understated, a little too understated, Mion. I used to see those stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? But there were puffs of smoke noisily shooting out of Reina's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it. I shall be up next. Is it this? It is this, I think she said. It was the hand-drawn poster from the Ladies' Society's roasted corn stall. It was a really bad sketch done by a housewife. An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of real plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. Bleep. That was the sound of blood jetting out of Reina's nose. It seemed to have been rated rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. I don't get it either. There are certain things I understand. Feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde by about 5 eons. Oh ho ho, those were nothing but mass-produced signs after all. They had no chance against something hand-drawn. I couldn't even begin to follow the way those guys were thinking. Then I will be next. Next is Rika-chan, is it? What can you even do without anything? Did you and Satoko both forget? If Rika-chan felt like it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began waddling up to Reina. Seeing that, both Mion and Satoko gasped. I knew she was going to do herself. Oh no, too late! Rika-chan tripped over nothing and lay motionless after falling down. Reina hurried over to her. Rika-chan, are you alright? Alright? Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out of her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She made just a single sound. Mew. Oh, cute, cute! Going to take you home! I'd completely forgotten that. The play that I had personally had to use. Reina's face went completely red, her head bobbing back and forth with excitement. She embraced Rika-chan and began rubbing her cheek against her. I'd expect no less from her. Not a single element was overlooked. Lolly, Shred Man, brink of crime, Mew, it was perfect. A simple trip transcended into pure moe. Now this is what you call art! Kei-chan had a pretty weird definition of art. I just pretend the sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. Rika-chan turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile as she was caressed by Reina, who was in full cute mode. Now, Keiichi-kun, can you beat me? That cold smile was frightening, Rika-chan. It must just be my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes. I don't know if that's your imagination. Kei-chan seems to have his own plan of attack. I wonder what he's going to show her. I also wish to observe the play Keiichi-san will make. Could it be? Is Keiichi also going to give a performance? I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Reina, who gave no sign of canceling out of cute mode, away from Rika-chan. Oh, cute thing, Keiichi-kun, let go! I'll show you something even cuter, so just hold on for now. Huh? Oh, something even cuter? But it's a bit too crowded here. Let's go back there. Reina looked very surprised I pulled her behind the shrine. I cannot fathom what Keiichi-san could possibly be planning. This is Kei-chan after all? No, it couldn't be. Keep on fighting, yeah! Oh boy. After a bit I returned. And after that, so did Reina, dragging her feet. There's no way that scoundrel Kei-chan did something to innocent little Reina. Mion and Satoko passed by me, heading straight to Reina. What exactly did he do to you? For a moment, Reina was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her. How? Oh, it's me, Chan. How? Reina, are you alright? Did Kei-chan do anything to you? No, he didn't do anything strange to me. How? This is quite severe. Exactly what did Kei-chan show you? It was so cute. How? Cute? What did he show you, Reina? Reina let out a really long how. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke. Cute, so cute. It was... Wait, what? Wait, what? It was Keiichi-kun's furry little seal? Wamp womp. In the blink of an eye, Mion Satoko's elbows smashed into my face. Huh? How? What? What? Showing Reina something so dirty. I'm pretty sure. You sick pervert. I shall have you beaten into oblivion. Wait, you got it all wrong! A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me! Mion, Mi-chan, I'm not sure what's going on, but you got it all wrong. You see, Keiichi-chan had... It's a fur seal keychain. Oh. Rika-chan stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain. He said he made it long ago for one of his summer school assignments. He said he didn't show it to others often, I think, because it's embarrassing. Yeah, so small and cute. He tried his best to make it. It's so wonderful. Oh, This old man thought you meant it was Keiichi's cute little fingers. Oh ho ho, I'd expect no less from Mion-san. You misconstrue things in the wildest ways. They sung insults at each other and looked like they were ready to tear into each other any second. I beg of you, if I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? We were interrupted by the flash of a camera. Hey guys! You all seem energetic, as usual. It was Tomitaki-san. As I lay crumpled on the ground, Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Rika-chan was patting me on the head, and Reina was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene. It's a fine evening indeed, although it's rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission. That's right, at least you don't really need Satoko's permission. Huh? Satoko dug her heel into me. Good evening. You're headed back tomorrow, aren't you? Were you able to take lots of good photos? Thanks to you. I got plenty of good shots. Tonight's the last we could see of old Tomitaki-sama, isn't it? Such a shame. Hurry up and have your major breakout soon. Just as rude as ever, aren't you? I really am sad I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year. Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight. You'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow, after all. That's true. It will be another 6 months, till I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars. Tomitaki-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness. Why don't you move here, Tomitaki-san, in Hinamizawa? I don't know about that. Tomitaki-san was speechless. It's not very convenient here. No shops or recreational spots. There might not be anything really here, but you know? Everyone knew what I was trying to say. Tomitaki-san was also well aware. So Reina, Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan. None of them butted in. I've only been here for less than a month, so I don't really know everything about it. Nothing. Normally I'm really a talkative guy, but in a situation like these, I'm at a loss for words. Even though all this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance. This place is probably... Tomitaki-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me. Thank you, Keiichi-kun. Mion-chan and Reina-chan, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan. Tomitaki-san's smile was slight. So slight it looked as if it was going to crumble at any minute, but it was warm. I also think it would be great if I could live here. Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. A hand touched my back. It was Reina. Keiichi-kun, you shouldn't pick on adults. It's not nice. The background clamor of the festival returned. We won't be seeing him for a while after all. We need to make sure Tomitaki-san also enjoys tonight. When Reina smiled, the mood instantly got brighter. That's true, I think I'll do just that. Hey Mi-chan, how about it? Can we let Tomitaki-san in on our club activities? That's a great idea. Or so I thought, but Mion had a snobbish look on her face. One of the requirements for membership is residence in Hinamizawa, you see. Come on, Mi-chan, just for today. Don't be mean. Well, he does come around often every year. I'll make him an honorary citizen. Woo, yay! Now then, I wonder if this aged fellow, well past his prime, will be a match for me. Let's have him show us the wisdom of a mature adult. Can you keep up with us youngins? Tomitaki-san steps back slightly at our audacious grins. I, Mion Sonozaki Club President, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomitaki's entry into our club. Our words were quickly drowned out by our cheers. What do you mean by club? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor. Sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I prefer you not single me out. Let's try to get along. If you wish to mock our childish games, then this will be the perfect opportunity. We'll leave you with nothing. What? We won't even leave you the hairs on your butt. So it's a club where we play games together. Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense. Alright, just what I wanted. I'll take you up on that challenge. Don't be too rough on me, my mentors. Tomitaki-san got riled up into a victory pose like he was 10 years younger. That's perfect. We continue walking through the festival with Mion in the front. Now he looks like a family of 6. It adds some intensity to it. Same rules as always. Loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty. Tomitake-san was a bit surprised, but to us it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty was, just don't lose. Reina was also brimming with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing. That's true. I tousled Reina's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled with a higher embarrassment. I see. This is what it means to feel like a kid again. Tomitake-san whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival. You're here. Little Miss Sonozaki, it seems you brought quite the crowd. We came to eradicate your entire stall. His stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a court gun. Rules are simple. 3 shots, the winner is whoever gets the biggest prize. Everybody shouted their agreement. There was no need to consider how to win. Condition for victory. It was simply size. Biggest prize of the stall went without question. It was that one, wasn't it? Whoa, that teddy bear? Cute. Reina was gazing longingly at a large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get if you hit the right spot. It's magnificently set up to make someone think that. Not bad, Keiichi-san. I figured you would see through this scam instantly. The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or a doll. The intention analysis had already begun. And in this club, you get eat alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up with before the main event. At some point, a large cloud had gathered around us, making a fuss. There was this much of a following for Recall's infamous event. Knocking down that bear and sure as a win. Only 3 shots. To use them all just trying. That'd be rough. Hey, I have other customers waiting, you know. Who's up first? The first one had the advantage of being able to aim for the easier prizes, but it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun's quirks. Tomitake-san take on the situation was pretty good. He gets what our club is about. Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it? That's really the only way. Rock, paper, scissors. After a couple of matches, it ended with Mion being first. I didn't want to end up first, oh well. I'll just think of it as a handicap. Gramps, gun. Here you go. With the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked over it intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either. Okay. This gun is brand new, isn't it? No faults, not bad. Mion raised the gun in one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Fire. Reload. Fire. Reload. Fire. Flop. Flop flop. 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul. The crowd paused in a moment of awe and then erupted in cheers. Whoa, awesome! That was quite good. Tomitake-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess. Amazing, Mii-chan. 3-3! Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with very high return on investment. Who's up next? Satoko? Careful, the bullets are light. Next was Satoko. The rifle looked a bit big for her lithe body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight. Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize. She proclaimed that she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, Satoko, such a bold move. The moment she knocks it over, she's guaranteed to be in first. Good luck, Satoko-chan. Satoko was the opposite of Mion. She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger. Bah, these bullets are too light. The first 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head or it won't work. Satoko's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm. I hate to say it, but the bear is just too much for me. She went boldly after the big catch. But since she switched over to less impressive prey at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh. Or are they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing. A fine attempt, Satoko. You've gotten better. Palm of Mion's outstretched hand went pump as it tapped lightly on Satoko. She appeared to be just talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn nuts, Toko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. Without shame or honor. Magnificent. I'll allow you to take the bear, Reina-san. I pray for your victory.
Okay, thanks so much, Satoko-chan. How bear-san, so cute.
Reina was up next. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn as a regular Reina, but she said that the bear was cute. I wonder how Reina-chan will do. Hope she's able to hit at least one. You're underestimating Reina, Tomoitaki-san. It's Reina, you know? It's Reina Ryugu, you know? If I was to get that teddy bear... Whoa! Tomoitaki-san, we ought to see what the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot through a pinhole. One noticed Reina Ryugu could do it. Shaking. It's shaking! How cute! Reina couldn't hear her excitement over the bear slow rocking. Now Reina couldn't lose.
Not bad, Reina-san. The less collected you become,
the stronger you get. Whoa! Another big cheer. Reina's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. The bear seemed to wobble more than before. But it might not be possible. You never know. With Reina-chan's skill, it might be. But Tomoitaki-san was just While Tomoitaki-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. Reina had 10 more shots and she could surely knock it over, but with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. Ow! The crowd let out a dejected groan. She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt.
How, Bear-san, take him home, how?
She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. And at the last moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Reina. This is for you, little lady.
Huh? You're giving this to me? How?
The gods would forgive me if I let you go home empty-handed after such a display. There's another shower of applause. Reina turned bright red and I pulled her back over to us by her hand. You did a good job. Your keep mode really surprised me.
How I really wanted Mr. Bear,
It was easy to see that I only needed a little more to be knocked over. Reina had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic. Alright, then I'll get it and give it to you. What? Tomoitaki-san had stolen the words right out of her mouth.
Okay, please, Tomoitaki-san. Good luck.
Damn you, old man Tomoitaki! Stealing the good parts for yourself. Small hand stretched over and fell gently on my head just before I was overcome with frustration.
You keep on fighting too, Keiichi, okay?
Tomoitaki-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Huh? Why is he doing that? Yes, no doubt. Tomoitaki-san's aiming for... Plop. 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 The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking. So Tomoitaki-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before, but that was all. It still didn't fall over.
Oh, too bad.
I'll let Reina's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh. I really thought it would work. Oh ho ho, it seems that since you're a man, you will not be receiving any candy. That was it. Tomoitaki-san had no spoils of war. So both Kei-chan and Rika-chan could just shoot down a small easy prize and avoid being dead last. Avoid being the loser, huh? Oh, sorry about that. It's your turn next, Keiichi-kun. Best of luck. I was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomoitaki-san. I took the ruthless route, as Mion had suggested that I go for a small target. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion. Passed down to me by Tomoitaki-san. The regret of not being a man enough to fell the bear that Reina wanted. Yes, that's right. If I had a name for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man. After all, that was my promise to Reina.
Huh? What promise? What?
To shoot down that bear. Then give it to Reina. That one.
You mean how...
The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation.
Woo! Cool, Oni-chan.
You got balls, man. It's not it. Fine men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Reina might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings? Keiichi-san surely talks the talk, but how do you actually intend to bring down the bear? Reina and Tomeisaki-san's shop did make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult.
Keiichi-kun.
If only there was some way to shoot faster, I'd be able to pile more power on the sway from each hit.
Good luck, Keiichi-kun.
After getting 2 deep breaths, I shouted over the guy. 2 more rifles. Huh? The crowd murmured amongst himself. I wonder what Keiichi-san is up to. One person can't handle 3 rifles at once. I get it. Nice thinking, Kei-chan. Mion was able to figure it out magnificently. Basically, what was taking the most time was reloading the shot. That's right. Then by putting 3 preloaded rifles next to each other, Tomeisaki-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur. And then the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning. They let out a grand cheer. They chanted my name, Keiichi! Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now! What? That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. Felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets, hit it, and knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head, the second, the third. The bear swayed hard. And then... Did he get it? Wow! Woo! Yeah! Oh! The cheers before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over to me. You actually knocked it over! You got me! Amazing. Congratulations, Keiichi-kun. Keiichi-san's finally learned how to use his head. I see you in a slightly better light now. I didn't do it all by myself. Everyone hit it and those small bits together brought it down. This trophy belongs to all of us. Right, this is from all of us working together.
Me didn't hit it a single time.
Irk. After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Reina. Here. This is from me. No, from everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Reina, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless.
I can't, Keiichi-kun. This is everyone's after all. How...
In that case, I was the one who knocked it down. And it's mine. It's mine, so I'm giving it to Reina. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time, she embraced and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all. I'm really grateful, you see. Thanks a lot.
Oh, Keiichi-kun, thanks so much.
Reina dove at me. Mion told me a few days later that Reina kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. I remember what I was trying to say to Tomeitaki-san earlier. There really isn't much of anything here, but there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. Oh, that's really sweet. There are lots of things! You will find out later. That's true. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa, especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on. When the altar set up in front of the shrine, the drums sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival.
I'll be going off ahead, then.
Uh-oh. I need to go and get myself a good spot, too. Well then, everyone. See you in a bit. Both Rika-chan and Tomeisaki-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd.
I wish both of you the best in your endeavors. Now. Shall we be off?
Yeah, I might as well go see Rika-chan's charming figure. Let's go. Yeah. Huh. Where's Reina? What are you doing?
Keiichi-kun! Mi-chan, save me!
Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried off by the flow of people. What is she doing? She must have her hands full taking care of that bear. So I'll leave Reina in your chair, Kei-chan. I have my hands full taking care of Satoko.
Who would want to be looked after by you, Mion-san? Ouch, please don't pull on my arm.
Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Reina's collar.
Kate, you could not there. Don't grab me there.
Don't say that in front of a loaded crowd. Jesus. Always so bossy. Where can I grab then? How? I didn't feel ashamed at all. Reina was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed onto Reina's hand and dashed after Mion and the others. We're gonna be late. Let's hurry up. Yeah. I hadn't realized Reina's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition? That wasn't what I meant, not at all. My ears burned. I tried to calm them. I repeated the phrase, keep it together, Keiichi Maebara, in my mind, but it didn't look like I would be able to anytime soon. I really didn't want Reina to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons warded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cotton and futons.
Keiichi-san, Reina-san, we're over here.
Stuka waved her hand from the front row. Oh, sorry. Making our way through the mass of people, we reached the spot they'd saved. How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of excitement with Reina? You punk, so that's what your plan was? Instead of replying, Mion gave us a perverse grin. How was it, Reina? Was Keiichi-san's hands bigger than you thought it would be?
How?
Reina turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her. I heard something slide through the air and turned around to see Mion on the ground with a welt on her face. Mion, when were you hit? Between the ha and ow of her how, I think. Reina, it's not good to punch your friends to hide your embarrassment. But it's so much fun. So much better that way.
I didn't hit her. Whatever, how.
Thump. The thunderous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd. You must all be quiet, it's beginning. It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered dressed as a shrine maiden, followed by members of the municipal committee. The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake-san's camera. What's that big thing Rika-chan is holding? A hoe that's used for this festival. It's a sacred farming tool that only the shrine maiden may touch. It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached the pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out futons? She's purifying futons that absorbed illnesses from people over the winter. So when Keiichi-chan said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong. Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Stucco looked on, silently lending her support. Worried? Rika practiced every single day with a mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail. Stucco's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't Mion a candidate to be the shrine maiden? Feels wrong having Rika-chan swing around something so heavy. I'd do it if they asked me, you know. And, well, it's not something just anyone can do. That's true. Shrine maidens need to be pure, after all. Mion drove her elbow into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. This triggered a round of generous applause. After the shrine maiden, Shinto priests had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up. Following after the priests, we all marched on at a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river?
Ahaha, Watanagashi means setting cotton adrift, you know?
The procession continued right up to the bank of the stream. A fire was stoked high and it was bright as day here too. People started crowding around it and clamoring. Alright, get in line. Line up, Keiichi-kun. I wonder what was up. Maybe we get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns?
Ahahaha, it's not food. I said it was cotton.
Ah, but of course, they didn't call it the Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people. Reina drove into the line and brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank of the stream.
Since it's your first time, Keiichi-kun, just copy what I do.
She held the cotton in her right hand and, waving her hand as if to purify it, she touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs. You do this three times and silently give thanks to Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama? What's that? The name of the shrine's god?
Yeah, it's the garden deity of Hinamizawa.
It brings about both miracles and curses, so you must be sure to show respect. That sounded like a pretty frightening god. But, well, when in Rome. I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all. Doing as Reina showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the cotton. Then you let it gently drift away all the stream, and you're done. Together, Rain and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all of the evil festering in Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd see on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Hinamizawa. While staring off to the stream, I somehow got separated from Reina. I wasn't very lonely, though. I know this place now. This is where I live, my home. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomitake-san's. I headed towards it. How did it go, Tomitake-san? Were you able to get some good shots? Yeah, fortunately. Tomitake-san was with the girl. I felt a little like I was intruding. I think it's the, what's her name? The reporter chick. Ah, it is her. How was it, Keiichi-kun? Did you enjoy the festival? From the way she spoke, it seemed like she was a resident of Hinamizawa. I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. What was her name? Well, it was fun. My face gets given away how desperately I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a lighthearted chuckle. It's probably because it hasn't been very long since you moved here. It's pretty hard to believe, seeing how friendly you've gotten with the other kids. If that's how it looked, it was probably all thanks to Reina and Neon. Perhaps you feel more like a resident of Hinamizawa after taking part in the festival today? I wonder about that. Oh, that's not like you. I had tried to get used to Hinamizawa, but there were still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I'd met, for example. Things that had happened in the past as well. Oh, you're feeling left out because of something like that? It's not so much as feeling left out, it's just I'm not sure how to say it. That incident at the damn construction site, the fighting over it and other conflicts, that terrible incident they pretended they didn't even know about whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past, as someone living in Hinamizawa, I wasn't wrong to want to know about both the good and bad that had happened here. If it will put you at ease, then I'll tell you everything I know. Tomitake-san's smile made me even more relieved than I'd ever been. It was hard to think of what to ask when someone said, "Ask me anything," though. Even though there was so much I wanted to ask. Then, could you tell me about what happened when the dam was being constructed? There was a big incident where Hinamizawa is going to be submerged, right? I think the locals have been more knowledgeable about the dam than I am. Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I know. It's only what I read in the newspaper, though. Tomitake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke. The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. I heard it was the next major project after Kurobe. There were 3 major issues in Japan at that time. Improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided on top of generating electricity and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support dam construction, so it was singled out. The dam reservoir would have covered quite a lot of ground when it was completed. The entire area right up to Yagoichi way upstream would be underwater, but why did they have to pick a populated area like Hinamizawa? Couldn't they have instead picked a place where nobody lived? I'm not really sure why, but I heard that it was just the right terrain for building a dam. Of course, there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Mika-chan had said there was a battle. From that choice of words, I had to guess things that turned violent. There was a trial, and it was even brought up before the National Diet. It was covered up in Tokyo newspapers, too. Mion had told me all about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which could not be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by that battle. As a result, bribery and scandals were brought to light. As things get even more complicated, they eventually halted construction. I wanted to know, now it's my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little shame from the fact I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Reina and Mion's refusal to talk about the event, but I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance, just so I would stop thinking about it so much. So there was a dismemberment, right? There was. It happened to be here in Hinamizawa. I happened to be here in Hinamizawa at the time, so I remember it well. Tomitake-san's answer was nonchalant in contrast to my hesitantly forced-out question. It's about this time, 4 years ago. It was the day of the Wada Nagashi, if I remember correctly. Debate on whether to continue the construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident that was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended in the victim being murdered. Fearing prosecution, the 6 assailants divided their remains into 6 pieces and each hid one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but 1 was still on the run. The right arm he'd hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I read earlier. It certainly was a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Reina and Mio needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worried so much about me, as well as shame for still being so interested in it. It was near the end of all the trouble with the dam, you see, so everyone was saying that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Oyashiro-sama was the name of the god at the shrine that held the festival today, if I recalled correctly. I see. Their guardian deity rains divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa. Apparently the younger ones didn't think so, but it seems the elderly in the village never doubted that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman with Tomitake-san said with a mischievous chuckle. Tomitake-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious I ended up laughing as well. But I wonder about now. There are quite a few, I think, amongst the youth, too. A few what? People who believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman's lips were still curved into a smile, but her expression turned stern. Then after that, it continued every year. Always around this time. Continued? What continued? Tomitake-san paused for a second, as if to build up some suspense. Then he whispered to me, as if someone might be listening. Every year, on the day of Wada Nagashi, somebody dies. The year following the dismemberment, on the day of the Wada Nagashi, a man from Hinamizawa who had supported the dam fell off a cliff overlooking some rapids and died while he was on vacation. Unfortunately for his wife, the body was never recovered. He supported the dam construction even though he lived in Hinamizawa. At the same time, there was whispers among the elderly saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman chuckled mischievously again. Then the next year, the night of the Wada Nagashi, the shrine's Shinto priest suddenly died from an unknown illness. His wife drowned herself in the bog that night. The shrine's Shinto priest, you mean he was from the shrine here? The woman nodded. There was a rumor amongst the villagers that they weren't able to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger. Then the year after that, again on the night of the Wada Nagashi, they discovered the battered body of a local housewife. Housewife? Up until now, all these mysterious deaths were people involved in the dam or who had connections with Oyashiro-sama. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way too? Exactly, the woman stated slyly. Oh, wait, I missed that. No, it was more menacing. One of the victim's relatives, you see, was connected to the younger brother of the dam supporter who fell to his death 2 years before. The younger brother is still alive, it seems, but it did bother him quite a bit, so he moved to the neighboring town. For a while, I stood there with my mouth agape. The battle over the dam construction with Hinamizawa's future at stake, and the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew. That was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to the story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses, but the freakish deaths happening every year on the night of the Hinamizawa, and all of them were related to the dam construction? It was easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves when you put them all together. Oh shit, I missed that too. God damn it. When you put them all together, dismissing all of them as coincidence would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year on the day of the Hinamizawa, somebody or something makes it happen, without fail. The woman chuckled again as if she picked up on what I was thinking. I felt like she was saying, maybe there was, maybe we frightened him, stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed on my talking sound to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone. Then, so someone died the next year, right? Who was it that time? I wonder. Who do you think, Keiichi-kun? The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off. Don't avoid the question, I'm serious here. Hey, calm down, Keiichi-kun. I realized when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking. We aren't trying to avoid the question, Keiichi-kun. It's just when you say the next year, that's this year. That's today. When she hesitated to say it, Tomitake-san finished for her. I broke into a cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed. Nobody wants to speak of it, but they all think it's going to happen again tonight. The festival was so cheerful, though. Well, the victim last year, the housewife, she was a non-believer. Turns out that she didn't even attend the Hinamizawa festival. There was a rumor going around that if you didn't participate in the festival, you would incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. Didn't you hear anything about that, Keiichi-kun? I never even heard a whisper of that rumor. Then the reason that everyone was at the festival was they were afraid of the curse? Figured that must have been the reason. There were a lot more people at the Hinamizawa than usual. I guess everyone was just afraid, after all, of Oyashiro-sama's curse. I couldn't utter a single word. In this modern age, where we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood, where black and white television has been eradicated, and we've sent men to the moon, even with all of our accomplishments, this can exist in modern society? Tons of invitations were sent out to neighboring towns' youth groups to help pad the numbers, but after that string of events, few decided to join. The municipal community members were complaining about how hard it was to gather participants. Also, the police are treating each case as isolated. They don't believe they're connected. They're trying to keep it quiet, so it's all plainclothes officers. Finally began to dawn on me why Reina and Mion were reluctant to talk. If nothing happened during the Hinamizawa, everything would have been over with and I'd be none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, it would all end up being just crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have had to act like nothing happened. And we would have all gotten back to life as usual. Maybe it was just too much for him after all. The woman ran her fingers through her hair as she sighed. No, it wasn't. Not at all. I had tried to act strong, but that just served to emphasize how much the information had unsettled me. After seeing how I looked, Tomitake-san appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor. Keiichi-kun, surely you don't believe in such things as curses. Well, no. If the causes of all the crimes were unknown, with the perpetrators and their methods almost mysteries, then I would think it's the work of a curse. But that's not how things are in reality. The police are investigating the evidence and suspects to uncover the truth. Hearing him say police made me feel a lot better. It was perfect for repelling the word curse. First one, the dismemberment, for example. I told you, didn't I? All but one of the perpetrators were arrested. It's only a matter of time for the last one. The motive turned out to have been an argument they had while intoxicated. That's no curse, don't you agree? That was true. If it didn't happen on the day of the Watanagashi, then I wouldn't think it was related to the curse at all. The accidental death of the man who sported the dam was the same. He was in a position that made others hate him. The police made a point of investigating from that angle. They concluded it was an accident. No foul play. But they both happened on the day of the festival, right? Hahaha, just think about it, Keiichi-kun. Do you think people with a lot of enemies here in Hinamizawa would participate easily at a local festival? It would be especially hard for them to be around during the Watanagashi. So they probably left Hinamizawa intentionally around this time of year to travel, don't you think? It wasn't a very clear explanation, but I sort of understood what Tomoitaki-san was getting at. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so that I could convince myself. Well, then, Tomoitaki-san, what about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness. That also happened on the day of the festival. It's even easier to explain what happened to the Shinto priest. The Watanagashi is a really big event that happens once a year. It's probably from all the built up stress. Or it may have been because of a pre-existing condition. But it was an unknown illness. It's hard to believe something with an unknown cause could exist with all our advances in medicine. It's just an exaggeration. Rumors making rumors. Anyone would get worked up over having accidents happen 2 years in a row. The sudden death is quite natural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way he died. There wasn't enough for them to open a full investigation, you know? Turns out it was just a sudden death due to illness. The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that? I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incidents happening for a third year. Those who are of strong faith were quick to believe it was the work of the curse. Of course, that included the priest's wife. Apparently they found a suicide note that says something like, "My death will quell Oishiro-sama's anger." Well then, how about the next accident with the housewife? This happened on the day of the Watanagashi too. The perpetrator had already been caught and the case had been closed. Turns out it was just some nut job trying to continue the legacy of the Hinamizawa curse. Well then, how about the incident the next year? The housewife, I forgot how that worked. Oh yeah, this year is the next year. Tomoitaki-san gave a hearty laugh. Nothing will happen. Not this year. There was never a curse to begin with. It's just that a group of people believed it was the explanation for a string of coincidences. My internal computer finally got itself back on track. I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking. I can see very clearly now that Keiichi-kun really does love Hinamizawa. Even if Oishiro-sama's curse actually did exist. Keiichi-kun couldn't bring himself to believe that such a thing existed. I felt very relieved. I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Rana and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always. They'd probably also like tonight to end without incident, so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. People perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on. Well then, I should be getting back. Goodness, I think I may have gone on a bit too long. There were so few people compared to the crowds from before, I could only make out a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed we talked for the better part of an hour. Didn't you come along with your friends, Keiichi-kun? Not going to look for them? Oh yeah. They might all be looking for me. You're quite the scoundrel, making the girls look for you. See you, Keiichi-kun. Have a nice night. You too, Jiro-san. I'll see you a bit later. Tomoitaki-san seems to be quite the scoundrel himself, though his name is Jiro. Dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds.
Keiichi-kun!
Of course.
So sorry.
In her place, Reina came running over. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil. My bad, Kei-chan. We got so caught up in our discussion. I completely forgot about them while caught up in my own conversation, so we were even. Yeah, I was a bit worried about, you know, a possible curse and deaths and all kinds of rumors. My, so Tomitaki-san was with you. This works out perfectly. We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition. That's right, so I guess I'm gonna end up dead last? In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitaki-san. However, she did her little meowing cry in front of the owner, and he turned to mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently. Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster. I have no idea what Kiichi is talking about. Now then, it's decided that Tomitaki-san is dead last. Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitaki-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered. So Tomitaki-san, are you ready? Penalty time. Huh? Oh, I'd completely forgot about that. You're too naive, Tomitaki-san. This is why your club can never lose. Mia pulled a felt-tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mia. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh. It just has to be permanent. It comes off when you do the laundry anyway. Whoa, what is this? Please take it easy on me. All of us pinned his arms behind his back, and Mion approached him with the marker in one hand. And squip, squip, squip. But she didn't write on Tomitaki's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You'd better have your big break this year, Mion. Reina took the next marker next. Show me your photos next time, okay? Reina. It was a little heartwarming and I just had to laugh. Haha, this is more like a farewell card than a penalty. Oh, I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty. Haha, dead last, Satoko. Try harder next time, Rika. That's even worse. Here you go, Keiichi-san. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on the kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again, Keiichi. Tomitaki-san was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. So I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as part of the penalty? Of course, you better wear it all the way home. Hahaha, you could wear it when you come back. It would be nice. He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red. Understood, I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I'm not sure if I'm just reading it too fast, or like I have like put something in my settings that I wasn't supposed to, or clicked something. It's just going really slow. I saw the woman with Tomitaki-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitaki-san noticed her too and knew it was time to leave. I think she's a reporter and he's a photographer, and we know he's a photographer, so if I imagine like correctly, I think they're working with the police, from what I remember about the series. Seems like your guest is waiting. Isn't it about time? Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Tomitaki-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait. We all shouted stuff at Tomitaki-san. Every time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. He's a nice guy, he really is. I'm not too sure about the woman. She's a little, like, odd, but I don't think she's a bad person. Like, eventually he faded into the darkness of the night, out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. He's gone. Well, it's about time we took off too. Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Stuka was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. AKA Reina and Mion. The walk back was quite lively with the talk of the day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. Reina and I parted ways with Mion, but then it was just the two of us. Then we got to my house and I parted ways with Reina as well. It's already pretty late. Are you alright by yourself?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm going to run, too.
If you run into some weirdo, just yell.
If someone does come, will you come and save me, maybe? Maybe?
I don't know why it's taken so long for that to load. If I hear you.
Oh, okay. I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me.
Barely spinning her arms around at high speed, Reina dashed off. She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Reina's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a single person even whispered about. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. It didn't show off on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up being just crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad. Nothing at all.
What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that?
Come inside. You'll catch a cold. It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi festival? In the end, your father didn't wake up, so I missed it. A little disappointing. Mom stuck her tongue out at a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. I would have just woken him up. Like, come on, man, we're going to the festival. Ooh, so he's going to be worried that his parents didn't go. So if they die... Ooh. Ah! Okay, there's a lot of tips. So this chapter ended there. I'm gonna save first. And then I'm gonna read the new tips. It's gone on a little bit longer than usual. Oh, okay, so these are all the incidents that happened each year. In the June 1980 edition, on the afternoon of at 2 p.m., office employee and his wife of Hinamizawa Village in Shishibone Prefecture disappeared after falling 27 meters from the observatory platform in Shirakawa Prefecture. Police and firefighters searched downstream and discovered the body at around 7 p.m. that evening. His wife has yet to be found. The search has run its difficulties due to the effects of Typhoon 3 from the previous day. It appeared a railing at the observatory that the person leaned on had broken, causing him to fall. The groundskeeping staff was questioned by the police in regards to facility deterioration and if park maintenance was performed properly. There's the priest. From the June 1981 edition, on the afternoon of around 10 p.m. in the district of Hinamizawa Village in Shishibone Prefecture, the Shinto priest of the Furude shrine passed away after an existing condition he was recovering from suddenly worsened. So her name is Rika Furude, as she is a descendant of the shrine maiden, so that's why she performs the rituals. Parties close to the deceased said he was suffering from anxiety issues concerning the festival, which was to be held that day. Also, after death, his wife went missing, leaving behind a farewell note. Interesting. The police and local youth association continued the search. However, given the presence of the farewell message and the fact that the Onigafuchi marsh is said to be bottomless, they have run into difficulties. Yeah, there's just always some sort of roadblock. Like, you know, they end up having to stop researching for some reason, and it like makes you skeptical, you know, like why? Yeah. This is I think the most unsettling. It wasn't reported in the newspaper. Oh, they didn't report that one. Huh. That one was considered an accident. They fell, when they were on vacation, and then this one was an illness, so they could just consider it an illness and left it on. And then this one, a actual person was murdered, but they didn't talk about it in the newspaper at all. It's like it gets worse and worse every year. This is Okinomiya Station calling Unit 3. Unit 3, please respond. This is Unit 3, loud and clear. Backup is heading your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over. Roger. Unit 3 acknowledged. Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence. Station, the doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over. Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor. Affirmative. Understood. Ah, backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take a photo first? I think the Vic is done for. Huh. That's probably for the housewife. Huh. So these are the 3 incidents that happened, and then this is the 4th year. So. So those were actually fairly short. Interesting. I was actually kind of, like, wondering if we were going to get any sort of creepy, interesting information in this one. I was like, okay, we're going to go this whole time, and it's all going to be, like, cutesy anime antics, and I'm not going to get anything creepy. And I'm like, oh, but towards the end, you got all those, like, Tometaki-san talking about all this curse stuff, and how so many years, you know, in the history of the town has caused, you know, different incidents and murders. Well, one murder in particular, but suicides and illnesses and stuff like that. People link to Oyashiro and to, you know, the dam building construction thing. So it's all rather interesting because it's like, what is going on in this town? You know, like people all think it's this curse and they don't really talk about it, but they a lot of people, local people, really believe in it, you know, and then, other people, you know, especially outsiders, like, Tometaki-san, he, you know, considers it's a curse, but, well, he doesn't consider it a curse, he talks about it like, you know, that's how, he understands that people think of it that way, but then he also talks about, you know, the fact that he believes that it isn't a curse, but in that it's just coincidences, you know, that they, you know, they're all explained rationally. Like, he's more of like a, you know, police kind of, on the side of the police and stuff like that, where he thinks everything could be explained logically and rationally without any sort of curse or, you know, some sort of other mysterious entity involved. Which is the rational way to think about it. And everything he says, like, by rational means makes sense. But, pretty sure there's more going on than, you know, just random occurrences happening. Like, it's not a coincidence that these all happen on the night of the festival. Like, and that they were all, like, the housewife, I think, didn't go to the festival, and I think that's why she was killed. And then the last year before that, it was the shrine person, and I'm not sure why he died, but I feel like it has something to do with the fact that either he did something to anger the god, or he, like, wasn't fulfilling his duties because he had an illness or something, and that angered the god. And then, the one before that, it was the people that were, you know, tied to the dam construction. So they got killed. So it's all very interesting, and Rika is a descendant of the shrine family, so that's why she was carrying the shrine maiden ritual, because she is the heir, which you can know that by her last name. She has the same last name as the shrine maiden, or not the shrine priest. So she's a descendant of him. Interesting. All very, very, very interesting. Curses and gods and rituals and all kinds of stuff. So I think I'm going to continue this chapter until it's done. So I'm still on chapter 1. Like, this was the end of chapter 6, but we're still on chapter 1 in the series of the visual novel. So I think I'm going to keep going till I finish chapter 1 of this, which should be done in a couple episodes, I want to say. I'm not really sure, because I've been reading everything out loud, but, so it might take me a little longer than me reading it by myself. I can usually read faster, if I don't have to read everything out loud, but I enjoy reading it out loud. It's kind of fun, to use these different voices and stuff. Of course, the only two voices I think I've done really well are, I think I do a really good Rika and a really good Reina, but, I don't really know. But it's getting really interesting, and after this festival is when it really starts picking up, so I'm really excited to start the next episode after this, because it's gonna get real good, like real interesting. So I will stop here, and then I will continue with this next week till the end of chapter 1, and then I might decide to go back and play Amnesia Memories, and then finish that until it's done, because I think it's going to take a lot less time to do. Considering we have 8 more chapters of this, 7, I think. Yeah, 7 more chapters of this until it's completed, and we've done 3 episodes now, and we're not even, I think we're probably a little over halfway of the first chapter. And I know for a fact in Amnesia Memories, 3 episodes I can do, which are like an hour and a half to 2 hours, kind of. I can do, I can finish a route. So I know better, how long it's going to take for me to do Amnesia, so I'll probably go back and do that one. But I am going to finish the first chapter of Higurashi, just so I can, have a really good starting point on that Let's Play, and I can know where to pick up from at that point. Because it'll be easier to say, hey, I finished chapter 1, and then as soon as I'm done with Amnesia, I can come back and pick it up from chapter 2. And it'll be really cool, because I can continually keep reading this creepy story, It's a slow burn story, for sure. As I said, we're on part 3 now, and we've really not gotten too much into the creepy stuff, but this episode was really, really good towards the end with that. It picked up a lot and added a lot to that. The concepts, of what is going on under the scenes that you don't really see, under all these, cutesy, happy-go-lucky kind of antics that the town kind of sets off. But interesting. I also like the ritual stuff, too. Like, the stuff that's something that happens a lot in Japan. They're very spiritual in a lot of places. They have a lot of shrines, and they have these, practices with Shintoism and a couple of other similar religions too, but it's mostly Shintoism. They believe, and they do a lot of rituals and practices with that, and they're extremely, extremely interesting. How they, believe that these, it's something as simple as, the evil in the people's, beds, getting washed away from the town in the current, something like that. It's just really interesting to me, things people believe and the rituals they practice. Of course, this is fictional, but there's a lot of rituals very similar to that in Japanese culture that are actually real. So, interesting to me, and a very interesting, creepy kind of story for Halloween. So, we're getting into the thick of it now. Next episode should be better, and then we'll keep going, and the further along you get, the more interesting it gets. I know that for a fact. The darker it gets, the more interesting it gets. I'm excited. So, I'll pick this up next week with a new part. and it's gonna get better, and I'm so excited. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. I will see you next week for the next part of Higurashi. Bye!